My name is Sam Hanni. I'm with the DeLong Company. We're located here in Edgerton, Kansas. We started here in 2013 when BNSF built the rail yard next door to us. Our company has been around though for over 100 years, and we're based out of Clinton, Wisconsin. We own all that grain when we ship it overseas, so it's all bought from local farmers, grain elevators. If we do dry distilled grains from ethanol plants, soybean meal from different producing plants. We do everything. We handle all the grain from when the farmer delivers it to when it gets to our customers overseas. Everything, we take care of all that infrastructure. A little bit of unique thing about our facility from our other export facilities. Our other export facilities might just be getting grain from elevators or some of our other feeder elevators going into there. Where here we're kind of like a country elevator, but also an exporter, so that we have most of our grain comes from local farmers. When we first started the facility, it was mainly just from elevators, local elevators that were bringing in grain. Now it's once the elevators were like, hey, we can send the grain over to DeLong, then they started with contracts with us, and so we've had a lot of producers. So a big chunk of our grain comes from local producers, especially during harvest time. Farmers still selling grain to elevators, but they might have hauled it in here for the elevator instead of taking it to the elevator and the elevator hauling it to us. So they would just start contracting with us. And so they still might contract with those local elevators, or they might contract with us, just depending on the price, really. If you look at overall numbers every year, the DeLong Company, as far as shipping containers, the 4th, 5th, 6th largest one, depending on the year. But compared to, say, like a Cargill or ADM like that, we would probably double what they ship out via containers. Our primary product that we ship overseas is soybeans. So out of this facility, 60% of what we probably ship is soybeans. We also ship soybean meal, dried distillers grains, some other protein sources, but mainly this is soybeans or soybean meal. We ship a lot to China out of this facility, Indonesia, Vietnam come out of this facility. We have sales teams that goes over and sells to those customers directly over there. We have customers over there that just want to buy from us because of our reputation as a quality producer or provider of grain. Customer might just want a low amount of grain, not a whole bulk load of grain. So we can provide that for them, and then we can also get more inland from the port, being it's on a container. So when it gets overseas, it can get on a container, and that elevator does not have to dump it right there at the port. They can get it traveled inland from the port to be dumped at their elevator, which is a nice asset too. I think the biggest thing I'm dealing with is trying to make sure we have the containers available. It's been kind of tight with containers this last few years. It's because we move such a large volume of containers every year. We do have really good connections with all the major steamship lines. So that gives us a little bit more leeway of getting those containers available to load. It really depends on, I guess, the movement of containers. One thing that hurt this last year was that the container ship lines would send out empty containers because they could get it turned around with loads coming back faster than if we put grain on it and had to get it dumped and then taken to a different location. So that was a kind of an issue too, but now we're picking back up, so it's hard to say what's going to happen. Nice thing about our company, what it does is that we are shipping a grain product in a container back out of the central part of the United States, whereas maybe a steamship line didn't want to send their containers into the center part of the United States. They wanted to offload it onto a semi or something else. We're providing that service that, hey, you can bring that container to Kansas, and we will have something to put in that container for you to go back out, so it's not a wasted trip. So which is a benefit. Otherwise, it'd be cheaper for them to unload it at the port and just ship it back, put it back on their ship and take it back overseas. So the container comes in, one, it's got to be seaworthy container, a good quality container to load. So we got to deal with those. We can't have holes and things like that in it. But then, as far as like the grain products, we can't have a high moisture grain. So we don't want to take in 14-15% moisture soybeans and put them on a container because they'll be moldy when they get overseas to our customers. You have to watch the grain quality because each container gets graded by Kansas Grain Inspection Services. So we do need to worry about the quality of the grain to meet our customers' requirements. We have to constantly watch the quality of our beans to make sure we're meeting quality, because we don't want to get over to a customer and it be bad or not as good as quality as we want. It's a bad reputation to us, and our customers don't expect us to do that.